Welcome to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Basic Education Board.
Hello, dear student of Senior 2. Welcome to the TV learning programs. As usual, I'm your biology teacher, Herbert. And today, I'm very grateful to be having Senior 2 class biology, or Form 2 biology class. We are still on Unit 2, where we're going to continue with the introduction to environmental biology. And we're going to have lesson 3, which is ecological pyramids. We're going to talk about ecological pyramids. We're going to first understand what are pyramids. You have ever heard very many people talk about pyramids. We have pyramid of numbers. We have pyramid of biomass. We're going to go through and see how the pyramid of biomass and pyramid of numbers are being constructed. Welcome to the lesson. So the lesson has only one learning objective, is to explain and describe a pyramid of biomass. At the end of this lesson, every student should be able to explain what a pyramid of biomass. I have some interesting diagrams that you are able to go through and you are able to understand. What you see in the diagram, go through and see the diagram. The diagram is built like a pyramid. That is a pyramid. If you see the diagram is trying to show you a pyramid. Okay? Under this, you remember we talked about a food chain. We talked about a food web. Do you still remember those terms, how to explain about a food web and a food chain? Energy flow, how energy is transferred from one organism to another organism. If you still remember, we have another diagram that is trying to show you how food, the ecological pyramid of ecosystem. Okay? See down here, we have the bottom thing. What you see at the bottom. Can you just understand and identify what is in the bottom that we can be able to understand it? We have trees. The trees are being eaten by the giraffe. All right? The giraffe are being eaten by the lion. If I can construct a food chain from an ecological pyramid, I can have green plants. I can have green plants. The green plants are being eaten by the giraffe. Okay? The giraffe is being eaten by the lion. All right? What do you call this one in biology? If you still remember. This one is referred to as a food chain. The transfer of energy from one trophical energy level to another trophical energy level. That one is referred to as a food chain. We can construct a pyramid of numbers from that diagram. Let me construct a pyramid, ecological pyramid. Okay? At the bottom, we consider there are more energy. Okay? We have, if you try to draw it, okay? This is pyramid. Okay? A pyramid. All right? I have green plants. Okay? The green plants, the following pyramid, we have giraffe. Okay? The last one is the lion. Okay? This is a pyramid. As you try to see how energy is transferred from one energy level to another energy level. So you are able to understand that, and I hope you've got what I'm talking about. So let's start the lesson. That was an introduction. So ecological pyramids are diagrams like this, as you've seen it in the below. A diagram that shows how important factors in an ecosystem, such as energy, biomass, and population size, changes at each trophical level. You see how the energy could be changing at each trophical level, how the biomass could be changing at each trophical level, how the population could be changing at each trophical level. Okay? You may find here there are more energy, but when you reach to the lion, there is less energy. Okay? Because energy is being lost through respiration as well as through excretion and other metabolic reactions. So traditionally these diagrams places the primary producers or the green plants at the bottom. We have the green plants at the bottom. The highest trophical level, you remember when you talk about trophical level, this is a level that's being occupied by that organism. The highest trophical levels are placed at the top. All right? The size of the portion of the diagram associated with each trophical levels shows the amount of factor in consideration. Okay? So a food chain, as I told you, food chain, that is energy sequence. Okay? You remember when you read these arrows, this shows eaten by. The green plant is always an initial organism in any food chain because it can make its own food. Okay? A food chain can be expressed in a measurable way by using a pyramid of numbers or a pyramid of biomass. So this one can just be, the food chain can just be expressed, this food chain can just be expressed in terms of the pyramid of numbers or the pyramid of biomass. This is a diagram that we're trying to show you what you call Egyptian pyramids. You know what you call, talk about Egyptian pyramid, shows how energy could just be moving from lower energy level, from one trophical level to another trophical level, up to the highest trophical levels. Student, are we together? Are you with me? Are you following me? That's good. That's great. Let's go ahead and talk about the pyramid of biomass. This refers to a diagrammatic representation of mass or weight of an organism in each trophical levels in food chain. That one shows the mass or the weight of an organism in each trophical level in a food chain. If the dry mass of all organisms at each trophical level of food chain can be weighed, the mass can be used to draw a type, let me just use the word type, a type of diagram called what you call a pyramid of biomass. Okay? What do you understand by a pyramid of biomass? Biomass means the dry mass of any living material at any trophical level in a food chain. Take a note of that. What do you understand by a biomass? It refers to the dry mass of any living material at any trophical level in a food chain. You have the definition here. You go through the definition. Biomass means the dry mass of any living material at any trophical level in a food chain. Okay? So biomass reduces as one moves from the producer. I'm talking about the mass. The biomass reduces as one moves from the producer to the various levels of the consumer. That one we discussed it earlier. The biomass, of course, or the mass has to reduce as you are moving from the producer to the other trophical levels or other levels of consumer. So as you are going from here, the biomass has to decrease, okay? From the producer, because this one is a producer, all right? This one can be called as a primary consumer, okay? This is a secondary consumer. Excellent, if you're following me. That's great. All right? So, the biomass reduces as one moves from producers to the various levels of the consumers. These are various levels of consumers. Okay? So a pyramid of biomass would be referred to a chart drawn to scale, showing the amount of biomass at each stage in a trophical level. Okay? The bars becoming narrows from the base to the top of the pyramid. Are you with me? Good, if you're with me. We have that diagram. See the mass. This is the mass of maize. This is what we call square unit area. It is almost 500 kg. When you go to rats, see how energy is being lost. Rats have 2 kg square unit area. We have the eagle. You go to the eagle here. We have the eagle, which is almost 1 kg square unit area. So you see the energy is decreasing from the producers to the consumers up to the top consumers. The energy is being lost. As I told you, the energy is being lost because there is excretion, there is respiration. That one makes energy to be lost in that way, okay? If you are trying to draw it very well, we can draw it in that way. Let me try to draw it so that you can understand what I'm talking about. See, I'm going to use the names. We have, the first one is maize, okay? The maize has almost 500 kg in terms of the mass. This is 500 kg, okay? Square unit area, okay? That is to say, that is the second one is the rats. They have 2 kg per kilogram square unit area, okay? We go through, we have the eagles, which occupies the top level, okay? Or the top trophical level. We have the eagle. Let me just write it here, eagle. We have the eagle, okay? Which occupies like 1 kg. Consider the energy being lost now in terms of the pyramid of biomass, all right? You see energy is being lost slowly by slowly up the top to the top trophical levels, all right? So let's talk about, it is always hard to construct a pyramid of biomass because of the following reasons. Why is it very hard to construct a pyramid of biomass? There must be a number of reasons that we have to know why is it hard to construct the pyramid of biomass. Okay? Let me start, it is measuring the biomass often means deaths of the organisms. Measuring the biomass often, more times, means the death of an organism. Organism may belong to more than one trophical level in an ecosystem. You may find they are found in very many, in more than one. Let me just use more than one trophical level in an ecosystem. So it is therefore not accurate to represent it with only one bar. So you can't represent it with only one bar. That's why it is very hard to construct a pyramid of biomass. I have another, this is supposed to be a pyramid of numbers. Student, first take your time and see what a pyramid of biomass. Pyramid of numbers. Okay? Pyramid of numbers. Take your time to think about what a pyramid of numbers so that you are able to understand pyramid of numbers. The number of all organisms at each trophical level of food chain can be counted. That one is referred as a pyramid of numbers. The numbers of all organisms at each trophical level of food chain can be counted. That is referred as pyramid of numbers. Now we are through with the pyramid of biomass. This was a pyramid of biomass. Okay? Now we are going to, this was one. And number two, we're going to have pyramid of numbers. Pyramid of numbers. Okay? I think when you talk about pyramid of numbers, the numbers of all organisms at each trophical level of food chain can be counted. So these numbers can be used to draw the diagram called pyramid of numbers. Are you with me? You use those numbers to draw, use these numbers to draw the pyramid of numbers. So the number of organisms in each level can be obtained by totaling the population of all species, making up the level. For instance, we have total number of plants, these are producers. We have total number of herbivores, these are primary consumers. We have total number of carnivores, these are secondary consumers. If we have like this, let's try to have, when you have a total number of producers What are they? These are the total number of plants. These are producers. These are plants, okay? We have a total number of herbivores. These are primary consumers, student. These are referred to as primary consumers. We have a total number of carnivores. These are secondary consumers. We have primary consumers. We have producers. Primary consumers, they are here. Even I wrote it here. We have producers, which are green plants. We have primary consumers, which are herbivores. The total number of these, they make what you call a pyramid of numbers. Are you with me, student? Excellent, if you are with me. A total number of giraffe in a particular pyramid are referred to as, these are primary consumers. Then a total number of carnivores, these are referred to as secondary consumers. You are with me? If you are with me, that's good. Let's talk about the pyramid is therefore a dramatic representation of numbers of organisms in each trophical level of a food chain. You can take a note of that definition. The definition is here. The pyramid is therefore, the pyramid of numbers, is therefore a dramatic representation of numbers of organisms in each trophical levels in food chain. Okay? So in this way, it is possible to know the number of organisms that are capable of transferring the energy from one trophical energy level to the next. You see how the plants, if we have more plants, more energy will be transferred from the plants to the giraffe. If we have more giraffe or more herbivores, we are going to have more energy being transferred from the herbivores to the carnivores. Are you with me, student? If you are with me, that's great and that's good. Let's go ahead. So, the pyramid is therefore a dramatic representation of numbers of organisms in each trophical levels in food chain. Okay? So in this way, it is possible to know the number of organisms that are capable of transferring the energy. Capable of transferring the energy, okay? From one trophical level to the next. Are you with me? So, we're going to have the figure. If I have the figure below shows a pyramid of numbers. We are going to see the diagram showing a pyramid of numbers, how energy is being transferred from one trophical energy level to the next trophical energy levels, okay? So, its shape, as we can see, is like that of pyramid, and this is called upright pyramid. I will give you more time to think about it and go through the number of pyramid of numbers and pyramid of biomass, okay? That is the diagram. What do you see? We have, in terms of the pyramid of numbers, the plants are very many. If there are more plants which are very many, we have plants. We have 4 mice. That one shows the energy. But this one shows the numbers. We have 1 hawk. We have 4 mice. We have, maybe let me just talk about 1,000 green plants. Okay? If you try to establish it, it is very clear. I will draw it like this. Pyramid of numbers. Okay? I have the grass. All right? These are grass or the green plants. Grass plants. Let me just put it in terms of the numbers. If I use it in terms of the numbers, it is very clear. Maybe this is supposed to be 1,000, not 100. Let me say use 1,000. If there are more green plants, more energy will be transferred from green plants to 4 mice. Pyramid of numbers. Total number of species we have. This is green plants. Here we have, these are mice. Mice, which is almost 4 mice. The top one we have one hawk. Okay? This one is a dramatic presentation of the pyramid of numbers. Pyramid of biomass, pyramid of numbers. You are with me? Are you following me? That's good. Let's go ahead and study. Let's go ahead and discuss, okay? we talk about the pyramid indicates that organism transfers energy to the next levels, decreases as it raises up. As you see from here, the energy will be starting decreasing from the bottom to the top. Okay? I asked you, why is energy being decreased from the bottom to the top? All right? That is the question I'm asking you. Because I told you, as you are moving from the bottom to the top, more energy is being lost through metabolic reactions, metabolic activities, okay? Through respiration, as well as through excretion. But here, there is less energy lost, okay? So, the pyramid indicates that organisms transfer energy to the next energy levels and decreases as we raise up. As we are moving up, the energy, as we are moving up here, as I'm taking this direction, the energy is being decreased, all right? So sometimes the pyramid is not upright. Don't think that the pyramid is always upright, okay? The pyramid is not always upright, okay? It's not upright. For instance, if you were to construct a pyramid of numbers using the tree as a habitant, this is the point I'm talking about. It would be the only producers and the consumers, such as caterpillar, birds, would be many. If we are to construct a pyramid of numbers, the smallest box would present the tree. It would be at the bottom and not at the top. Okay? That's how the diagram, student. That's very interesting. Okay? The shape of this pyramid would be inverted. I'm trying to invert it to make it to be inverted, as can be seen in the diagram below and the diagram below. Okay? We have producers, which has got smaller size. Primary consumers, the second size. Then secondary consumers will be bigger than the producers. This is an inverted pyramid of numbers, not an upright pyramid of numbers. All right? So that is very clear. And I think you've seen the inverted, we have seen how we construct the pyramid of numbers and the pyramid of biomass. Okay? Let's come to the summary of what we've discussed. I think everybody, you're ready to see how you can also carry out the inverted pyramid of numbers. Okay? So let's go through what is a pyramid of biomass, what is a pyramid of number, what is very important, why is it hard to construct a pyramid of biomass, all right? Let's go through and we try to review ourselves, okay? We said in ecological pyramids, the diagram that shows how important factor in an ecosystem, such as energy, biomass, and population size, changes at trophical levels. Because at each trophical levels, there must be some of the changes. The energy level, how energy is being lost, the biomass, and even the population size changes at each trophical levels. Okay? We said these diagrams place the primary producers. They place primary producers as the green plants at the bottom. The highest trophical levels are placed at the top. So the size of the portion of the diagrams associated with each trophical level shows the amount of the factors being considered. So a food chain can be expressed in a measurable way by using a pyramid of numbers or pyramid of. So once you want to express, so it means that food chain, because this is energy flow, can be expressed in terms of, okay? In terms of the pyramid of numbers, let me start with the pyramid of biomass. Pyramid of biomass and pyramid of numbers. Okay? Where we have to consider the numbers that are present in each trophical levels. Okay? So we also talked about, this is a pyramid, Egyptian pyramid, that's how energy should be transferred from one trophical energy level to another trophical level. So we said this pyramid of biomass refers to a diagrammatic representation of mass or weight of an organism in each trophical level in a food chain. It shows the mass. This is mass, because mass can just be measured in kg. Okay? Or it can just be the weight. Also, weight can also be measured in kg. In each trophical level. Are you following? In each trophical level, in any food chain. Okay? If the dry mass of any organisms at each trophical level of food of food chain can be weighed, because that is the food that in each trophical level can just be weighed. The mass can be used to draw the typical diagrams called the pyramid of biomass. Okay? We had the diagram. The diagram is showing how the pyramid of biomass is being constructed. A chart showing a drawing to a scale showing the amount of biomass at each stage in the trophical level. That is the diagram. We are able to go through each day showing the energy. So we talked about pyramid of numbers. The numbers of organisms at each trophical level of food chain can be counted. That one is called a pyramid of numbers. We had the diagram. The numbers are being shown, and I think it is very clear. So student, I'm coming to the end of the lesson, but I can't leave you without testing your understanding. I'm going to leave you with almost 2 numbers. Plot the following data by pressing the producers at the bottom using the scale of 1 centimeter, which is equivalent to 50 grams per centimeter, 50 grams per meter cubed for the rings, and 1 centimeter height for each level. That is the diagram. What does the pyramid indicate? Explain. The dry mass of the carnivores must be raw. If the total weight of the producer in ecosystem is 1,000, sorry, what would you expect the total weight of the secondary consumers to be? Do you agree with the statement below? All food chains begins with the green plants. Explain your answer. Thank you very much for your active participation and listening. Enjoy the rest of the day, and may God bless you. See you next time. Bye.